Internet is shifting and Africa is about to lead the change. What if I told y'all Africa was building its own internet to change the way that the whole world go online?
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP.
So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You and I thought to share. Our internet is reacting to the fact that over 1.4 billion Africans are shutting down Google and migrating or wanting to migrate to AfriNet. Like, Africa actually want to have their own internet apart from the global internet, despite a lot of conversation on the space of social platform, and I was able to put up some of those stitches. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
Africa just started its own internet. 1.4 billion people are now on their own network. They're no longer playing by the rules. The internet has been controlled by Google, Microsoft, Apple. They show you what they want to show you. If you don't know, a lot of people don't Google it anymore. They just use an AI system to get their answers that are uncensored. Google gives you censored news, especially on the topic. If you're doing anything political, heavily censored to most of the time the left. Africa, if they did a search, they had to pay Google to do that search, and they got a response censored for what was happening in their country. They're no longer doing this. This is a huge inflection point of them saying, fuck you and fuck the way that you've been doing things. We're going to do it our own way. Every country should have their own internet. Every country should be able to know exactly what's happening in their country. Is this going to block us from searching what's going on in Africa? I don't know. The details haven't been set out. But I'm all for a free internet. And I don't even know if this means that Africa gets a free internet. Maybe it's a government state-owned media internet that gives skewed answers. I don't know. But the fact that they're fucking with Google, it makes me happy. That whole monopoly that they have over the internet, it's going away. Sold Google ads for a decade. Made a ton of money doing it. Now you don't have to. It's easier just to Google or go to the AI and ask the AI, hey, what dealership's got the best price on this year, make and model? And boom, information comes to me.
Internet is shifting and Africa is about to lead the change. What if I told y'all Africa was building its own internet to change the way that the whole world go online? The digital economy is only so many holders like Google and Microsoft that holds the internet and can control the narrative. For the first time in history, Africa is breaking away from the big change in corporations like Google and Microsoft so that they can build a future for their own internet. And this isn't just Wi-Fi. This is a digital revolution we got on our hands. This can rewrite the internet as we know it. Forever, the internet been controlled by the West, but Africa just flipped the script on everybody. Nobody talking about it. Local networks, data centers, community-driven projects. Now Africans can really control their own online future. This is going to create a lot of things, new jobs, new tech centers, new development, new cities. This can be huge. And this is a big move, something that I don't think nobody thought was coming, to tell you the truth. Africa always been a consumer of the internet and not a creator. But they said, hold on, we got something for y'all. Now that they got digital sovereignty, this means they got the key in their hand. They can make their own rules if they want to. Africa said, no, we're not doing that going forward. We got some big plans and we finna change everything. The whole world.
You look at the West and you think we are living the dream. But let me show you the truth with numbers. In Europe, the richest 10% own about 60% of everything. In the United States, the top 1% alone hold almost a third of all wealth. And the bottom half, together, they own just 2%. Now look at Africa. The richest 1%, just 1 in 100, own about half of everything. In South Africa, the top 10% control more than 80% of the country's wealth. Do you see the pattern so far? It's not you against us. It's all of us beneath the same pyramid. Yes, there are differences. Here in the West, poverty is hidden behind clean streets and credit cards. People live in houses that belong to the banks, drive cars that belong to finance companies, and buy food on debt. I know it looks like comfort. It isn't, and it's actually control. In Africa, inequality is even more visible. The mansions of the few stand out against the struggles of the many. But the design is the same. A tiny elite holding everything while the majority carry the weight. We are actually more alike than you think. You are told that we are rich, but most of us are drowning in debt, stress, poison, food, and illusions. And we are told you are poor, but your lands are rich, your spirit is strong, and still the same sharks feed on you. So let's be clear. The problem is not that Africans lack or that Westerners have. The problem is that everywhere, the wealth of nations is captured by the few, while the many are told stories to keep them divided. So, you think we are your enemy? We were told you are ours. But the truth is actually simpler than that. We are all being lied to. And as long as we believe the lie, the pyramid stands.
This emergency for technology to advance and switcheroo of all this technology going on fits right into the system of what this world is headed for. Now, the principal just had a full dinner at the White House for all the U.S. tech leaders and giants in the world. Mark Zuckerberg was right on the side of him, looking goofy like he do. You had Bill Gates, a bunch of world leaders who run our tech. Okay. This happened on Thursday, September the 4th, and it was in the evening. What was interesting is it was 33 Silicon Valley leaders. Keyword, key number, 33. Those who know, those who get it. What they calling it was an AI education summit. What's all of this education about? A lot of weird stuff with Silicon Valley. Just like that man, he having a whole situationship, a whole meeting teaching about the AC. What is going on with all this? Now y'all having a whole AI summit and all this other stuff. It's a lot of weird stuff going on, y'all. That wasn't it for me. What was it for me was that Mr. Bill Gates, he started talking about vaccines. And then he talked about gene editing. Now, you have to understand with gene editing, the only thing that comes to my head is erasing. I can't go down here. Let me finish telling y'all what the man said. I can't, those who know where I was going with that, you know. He talked about how gene editing and vaccine and how there was a goal to basically to make an innovation to the next level of curing diseases and things of that nature. So we have to understand that that's the same thing Elante Dante Reeves was talking about, the same stuff. And that's why he created Neuralink, to help people with their life and with health. Now, he's saying to take the goal for America for more innovation. Now, it ain't that much innovation in the world. I can't even go where I want to go with this. Meanwhile, y'all, Africa decided they gonna create their own internet. 1.4 billion of the communities in Africa, they just went offline from Google. And why, you say? This is very interesting. Africa has launched their own internet. The continent is called the Continental Internet Exchange. Now, the reason why everybody's up in arms, and I just thought this was so strange, is because it's basically bypassing Western control. Catch it. It is a threat to our digital infrastructure that basically powers the modern economy. So now you have Africa. The Bible is true. The last will be first and the first shall be last. That's all I'm going to say. Basically, the infrastructure of Google, what this means is it literally rivals the Western system. I'm going to tell you how. They're saying that the software is very mature and that not only that, it's revolutionary. And why do you say? Because number one, it's competing with its entire Google ecosystem. They built their own email system, iCloud per se, storage, and video platform. They even taking a coin. They even got their own advertising network. And this is basically every service that Google has to offer. So this is definitely revolutionary, and we see a split off of how the world is kind of splitting off, and the fall of Babylon is coming into fruition, and we have to understand what has to rise to power. So these things has to happen. There has to be some type of divide to bring together. If you know what I'm saying, you get it. Now Babylon is getting ready to fall. It's already falling, but not only that, there's other things that has to arise to the occasion. There's things that has to come on the scene. There has to be one world. Y'all know the rest, okay? I can't say no more because I want to say a lot about this. It makes me giggle. It makes me laugh on the inside of what we're seeing taking place and what's happening. But, child. So that's why they was sitting up there having that meeting in that big old house like that. I was like, what is going on? Why is they having this meeting? I see why y'all having that meeting. Y'all had to have that meeting. They're conspiring. I'm done.
Africa is building its own internet, and it could change the world. For years, almost every click, message or video in Africa had to travel through Europe or America before coming back. And that made the internet in Africa slower, more expensive, and kept African data in foreign hands. Now that's changing. The African Union has launched the Continental Internet Exchange, a new digital backbone that keeps African traffic inside Africa. Nairobi, Lagos, and Cape Town are becoming the hubs of this network. But here's where it gets even bigger. Country by country, the continent is rewriting the rules of connectivity. In Kenya, Google's Umoja cable is creating the first direct fiber optic link from Africa to Australia. In Nigeria, giant data centers in Lagos are processing traffic locally instead of sending it overseas. In South Africa, Terraco's hubs and the Peace cable are turning the country into a digital gateway. In Ghana, open source platforms are powering government services. And in Somalia, ministries are connecting securely through a national GovNet system. Even satellite internet is part of the shift. Airtel Africa has teamed up with Starlink to connect remote villages that cables can't reach. This isn't about faster Wi-Fi, it's about digital sovereignty. Africa shaping its own technological destiny. Instead of relying on Silicon Valley, when African nations take control of their internet, it shifts the balance of power worldwide. If you're in Africa, have you noticed the change in speed or cost where you live? And if you're outside Africa, would you trust an internet led by Africa over Google or Meta? This isn't just the Africa you're not shown. This is the Africa designing the world's next digital frontier.
Africa in general, Africa's sovereign internet infrastructure is a thing that has happened. September 1st, project launched. Cool, fun stuff. It's called, I have some notes, it's called CIX, which stands for Continental Internet Exchange, and I think it's like a project that a couple of countries in Africa were working on with this company DECIX that is in Germany, that I was trying to do research on. There's not a lot online about it, so I have to kind of connect different articles and research, like who owns what and who's the CEO of what. And so here's a screenshot from an article. It's going to keep internet traffic local and slash costs and improve security, according to this article at the bottom there. I'm trying to find more people talking about it, but there's not a lot.
America, man.
what we gonna do? Because what we not doing is taking a page out of Africa's book. The other day, Africa, the entire continent, unsubscribed from Microsoft and Google. They said that when they would Google like their history, it was being suppressed. They would have to go through Europe and go through thousands of algorithms that would give them misinformation. They're literally starting their own internet. What the? When the internet first came out, it used to be the World Wide Web. Everything was interconnected. Like we were all one information. What is going on? America, stand up. Girl.
TikTok, the motherland is waking up, baby. So look, do y'all know that 1.4 billion people had disconnected from Google, and they was all black people, African people? Come on. Basically, it's like they got their own internet. Like Africa got their own internet. Like, come on, like stop playing. Like, I like that. Like, that is exciting. What? 1.4 billion people? Y'all, you know they not gonna like that. Like that T, they is not gonna like that, y'all.
I'm happy that Africa is not using Google no more, because I was getting scared. If somebody had to do something, somebody had to do something. And if there's somebody that did something is the motherland, I get down with that. I searched up the flights. They $787 right now to get to Johannesburg. I just clicked the first place that I seen in Africa. So if y'all want to shop around, or if y'all just want to like send me the money to go, I'll book the flights. And then yeah, I mean, we could be out. My cousin could drive us. He could drive us to the airport. Yeah, and make sure when you're looking up the flights, if you get your own flight, that is one way, because remember, we're not coming back. Yeah. I do have a friend. I have a friend that live in yeah. All right. He could pick us up from the airport. Yeah.
Like, seriously, lovelies. So, Africa is no longer sitting at the sidelines of the global digital revolution. Like, when I saw this on my For You, when I saw that 1.4 billion, it keeps going up and down. Who decided to, like, okay, we no longer want Google. I was like, okay, I want to dive into this. Like, I really want to know what is going on. It stepped onto the stage with its own microphone. Imagine 1.4 billion Africans shutting out Google and turning to Afrinet, like African owned internet. Like, this revolution all started from Ibrahim Traore. Like, that man is not playing. He's not playing at all. Like, hey God. The man actually, sent France to get her from the country that, okay, we are done with you using all of our natural resources. Not only did that actually made France to be bankrupt, and France is struggling. And right about now, I'm hearing about Afrinet, African owned internet. Like, I also heard something about having one African passport or something, so that you can be able to, I actually teach most of all of these African, content and all of that on my second channel. You can just check it out, Belinda Vaz. So, but I just feel that this needs to be stitched here as well, because this is going global. People are shocked, you know? People are shocked. A new digital ecosystem built by Africans for Africans. Like, why? Because the continent is tired of being censored. Like, and this is just it. Sometimes when you ask questions like historical questions on Google and all of that, Some of the African people were like, these guys are lying. Like, they are lying about history. So I think Africa doing this is just a way to protect and to give the real truth, the real history, right? I think I have to dig more. And if you want to know more, you could just check Belinda Vaz. Like, I have seen so many commentaries. Oh, like, talk about Africa. Please check Belinda Vaz, because I really need to dig more. I want to know the truth, you know? So the continent is tired of being censored, shadow banned, and silenced by Western media gatekeepers who decide which story are told and which ones are buried. And this is just the truth. Like, they are just they show you what they want to show you and censor what they don't want to censor. And this is just something that has been happening between the continent, the Western medias, and all of that. It's just something that needs to be done. I just hope that this is so true and 100% because I want to see how it plays out. Because for decades, Africa has been portrayed through a narrow lens: war, poverty, corruption, while innovation, resilience, and progress get muted. But now, the script is flipping. The same people once forced to consume narrative that didn't represent them are creating their own platform, their own network, and their own power structure. AfriNet isn't just an app or website, it's a declaration of independence. Like, I think there is a revolution happening, Lovelace. And this revolution actually started from Burkina Faso. And now I think other countries, other African continent are teaming up. Like, they are tired of colonization. They are tired, they are waking up, you know. They just want to have things done the right way. And all thanks to Burkina Faso, all thanks to Ibrahim Traore, because that man. Hmm. Anyways, when Africa says no more censorship, I think it's not just about freedom of speech, it's about reclaiming economic power. Every search, every ad click, every video stream put billions of dollars in Silicon Valley pocket, but shifting to AfriNet, that well stays on the continent, right? Fueling African tech, African job, and African innovation. And here's the bigger picture of this. If 1.4 billion people move in the same direction, the world will have no choice but to pay attention, right? The days of Africa being a passive market, I think, is getting near. Africa is becoming a producer, a creator, and a force. I think this is not just Africa rising. I've been seeing so many stitches, but I also think it's a way of rewriting history. Those who have been oppressed, colonized, uh, something is really going up there. Like, anyway, love this. I saw this. I thought that I was just gonna put it up here. Well, just please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you lovely when I upload
That we do not
the next
support
one.
any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thoughts, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.